Alright, Bristol night race review. Yes, we are back with reviews after they've been out off for 2 weeks. If anyone wondering, the Michigan vlog was pretty much the review last week. I'll leave a link down in the description box if anyone has not caught the vlog yet. Because last week I went to the Michigan race, so yeah, that's why there was no review last week for anyone that was confused. But anyway, enough talk, let's jump right into the review this week. So, start off, of course, with truck race. Truck race, probably the best race all weekend. Really solid truck race again. Just like every other week truck series is in action, it's always usually the best race every weekend. Brett Moffitt gets the win. Of course, this week was the opening race of the truck chase. Brett Moffitt gets the win, so Brett Moffitt is automatically moving on to the second round of the truck chase, the round of 6. Now 2 more spots. Now 7 more spots remain with 2 rounds left in the truck chase. Now I will show the truck points at the end of the review. For anyone wondering, we are going to show the points. Of course, next week trucks will be back in action when they head off to Canada. To Canadian Tire Motorsport. No, I am not going to that race. I already got plans that weekend. But anyway, moving on. Next up, Xfinity race. Xfinity, it was leech infested, so that tells you what. Now, Kyle Busch pulled the epic fail in this race. Like, Kyle Busch, how do you win a stage and then blow your engine right after? That's a first, Kyle Busch. You're a pioneer. You're the first driver in the stage racing era to win a stage and then immediately blow your engine after. Oh my god, Kyle, you are pathetic. That's karma for all those times you leached in the Xfinity. Maybe that ought to fucking teach you to not be in Xfinity. You have no fucking business being in that series, you piece of shit. Now, it was a crazy race because, well, we saw that lab cars were fucking holding everybody up and it caused a big crash because I think it was Brandon Brown. He held some cars up and caused a massive accident, taking out Christopher Bell, Cole Custer, Logano, and Eric Jones. So then, pretty much the ending, it was Allgaier's race to lose, and then right around 7-8 to go, Allgaier blows his tire, gets a flat tire, has to pit, and the win gets handed to Tyler Reddick. For Reddick's 4th win of the season. Man, that's heartbreaking for Allgaier. That close to your win only to have a flat tire do you in. That's just been Allgaier's season. Finds every way to shoot himself in the foot. If Allgaier didn't have these issues happen, he could have had maybe at least 2, maybe 3 wins this year. But he still suck at 0. And Xfinity points, we don't talk about it because it's pretty much already set in stone who's making it in unless some bullshit happens next week at Road America. Where Xfinity goes next week. Up in Wisconsin, World America, another road course race. Probably going to be a Syndic win. But anyway, moving on to the Cup race. The Cup race was actually a pretty interesting Cup race. There are a lot of incidents that happen in this race. It's your typical Bristol race. We'll get to the race ending. So, race ending, Matt DiBenedetto, the 95 Levine Family Racing Toyota, has the lead. Matt DiBenedetto looks like he's on his way to his first career win. And then Ryan Newman had to hold him up and put him in the wall. Which then allows Denny Hamlin to come by. They pass DiBenedetto, and Hamlin takes the win because of Ryan Newman. Alright, I'll admit, Hamlin did show good sportsmanship at the end in his post-race interview. But that's heartbreaking for DiBenedetto. Come that close to your first win only to get screwed out of it by some asshole on the track. It's like, seriously, why the fuck do you even bother trying to hold somebody up? Because I tell you right now, if Newman didn't make that contact, I think DiBenedetto would have been able to hold Hamlin off. Because around the time that happened, it's like 18 to go. 18, 15 to go. which every lap around Bristol is 15 seconds, so that's around 4 or 5 minutes the Benedetto has to hold off Hamlin for. And I think he could have done it. But of course, Newman has to be an arrogant asshole and a sore loser. It's like, seriously, Newman. And this is seriously, Newman, why? Like, you are about to go a lap down. The Benedetto and the leaders are obviously faster than you. The next car ahead of you is you're not going to catch, and you're not going to lose a spot. Just pull over, let them go. Notice how Ryan Newman will hold the leader up, but once Hamlin got to Newman immediately let him go. So yeah, in this race, we interrupt the 2019 Bristol night race to bring you Dover 2017. When Newman did that shit with Chase Elliott and cost Chase the win at Dover. Like, fuck's sakes. I know some people are gonna, some Newman apologists are gonna come over and say, "Oh, well, Newman's just trying to put on a show for the fans." What fucking show? What, how much of an asshole Newman is? Like, holding the leader up? What fucking show? Yeah, if it was for position, I'd be okay for it. But Newman's about to go a fucking lap down. No point in racing the leaders when you are about to go a lap down. And notice how a couple laps later, when Kurt Busch was the last car in the lead lap, and the leaders are catching up to him, Kurt Busch immediately pulled over and let him go. So if anyone wants to defend Newman, well, look what Kurt Busch did. Like, honestly, I think Newman knows he was going to lose, and he was just being a sore losing asshole. That's why I have Newman on the fuck this guy chart. And I know some other people say, "Oh, but if the Benedetto won, Newman would have been on the bubble." Well, Newman's not racing the Benedetto for a spot to chase, is he? No, he's racing Boyer, Suarez, and Johnson for spots in the chase, not the Benedetto. He shouldn't be worried about the 95. He should be worried the next 2 weeks about the 41, the 14, and the 48. Fuck me, I swear NASCAR is some of the dumbest fans in all sports. God damn. You know, honestly, fuck Ryan Newman. Message to lap cars from here on out. If you are about to go a lap down, or the leaders are going multiple laps down, if the leaders are coming up and they are obviously faster than you, move over, let them go. Do not interfere in the battle. Fuck. Honestly, it was a good race, and it was going to look like a good battle for the win between the Benedetto and Hamlin. But, of course, Ryan Newman had to fucking ruin it. Thank you, Ryan Newman. We really wanted that finish ruined. Thank you, asshole. Can't wait when Newman fucking retires. And also with that, pretty much now Newman just cost the Benedetto a top cup ride, since the Benedetto is going to be a free agent. Like, honestly, we can name at least 3 or 4 cup rides the Benedetto deserves. But he won't get. Like the 3 car, the 6 car, the 17 car, and the 21 of Paul Menard's. Like, the Benedetto is more worthy of those 4 rides, but the Benedetto will never get it. Because if you're a driver that has actual fucking talent, there's no place for you in the Cup Series. You're going to a shitmobile team. But if you're a spoiled rich kid, or you happen to have a famous last name, or a family member that works with a top team, then the top teams want you in their equipment. That's just the new NASCAR. That's how it works. That's just the way she goes. And it's obvious that he sure as shit ain't getting the 14 at Stewart-Haas next year. Because we already know that ride's going to Cole Custer, because Cole ain't going to stay in Xfinity forever. And we all know that probably is going to mean Boyer's going to the 38 at front row. So yeah, where do I see the Benedetto next year? Probably in Xfinity, in a top Xfinity ride. Either the 00 for Stewart-Haas or the 20 for Joe Gibbs. In Xfinity. Take your pick. But yeah. And of course, after this race, Jimmy Johnson digs his hole deeper late in the season. At this point, I've already accepted that Jimmy Johnson's not going to make the chase this year. Like, honestly, with like 3 weeks till the chase starts, because next week for the Cup Series is an off week. it's safe to say at this point of the season, Jimmy Johnson will miss the 2019 chase. For the first time in his career, he's going to miss it. He's too big in a hole to come out of. The only way he's going to get in is pretty much with a win, and that's probably the furthest thing he's from right now is a win, because the car has no speed. I mean, Jimmy was bound to miss the chase eventually. It was bound to happen eventually. But yeah, this probably means that 2020 is going to be his last season. But yeah, because, Gordon missed the chase before in 05. Junior's missed the chase a handful of times. Stewart's missed the chase a couple of times. Like, a lot of the top drivers have missed the chase before in their career. And I think it was, Jimmy, it was pretty much his time to miss it. But yeah. But oh god, I fear 2020. If 2020 is going to be Jimmy's last year, there's no way he'll miss the chase next year. Oh god. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's move on to the Cup Series. Move on to IndyCar. IndyCar Pocono. Well, it's Pocono. Did you expect anything else? Well, the race ended up going under a 45-minute red flag after lap 1, when we had a big crash happen. When a big crash happened, a big one at Pocono. Like, Jesus Christ, how many times have we had a lap 1 incident at Pocono? Sweet Jesus. I believe it was like last year. There was like a lap 1 incident, and that's pretty much put Robert Wickens in the hospital, leaving his career at least fucked for now. Yeah, and this crash took out Alexander Rossi, a championship contender. After the race, they got going. Nothing really happened after that. Until like around lap 25, lap 126. The race goes under caution because lightning struck in the area within a 10-mile radius. And since IndyCar is an outdoor sport like other like motorsports or any form of auto racing, so if lightning strikes within a 10-mile radius, you have to stop what you're doing and go under the 30-minute lightning clock. And of course, during this clock, more rain comes in the area and more lightning, so it's going to keep resetting every time regardless. So after 1 hour under the red flag, IndyCar finally calls the race after 128 laps. Will Power is declared your winner. But yeah, so not much happened at It's Pocono. It's Pocono. It's a garbage ass track. Maybe IndyCar should do the Pocono Roval. Show how exciting that track could be. I mean, it's better than this fucking triangle bullshit layout. But yeah, it's Pocono. What else is new? But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the points real quick. So here are the truck points going into Canadian Tire next week. We have Moffitt, of course, moving on to the next round. We also got Ross Chastain, who's 25 to the good. Friesen, who's 17 to the good. Crafton, who's 3 to the good. And Johnny Sauter holds the 6th and final spot by 3 points. Austin Hill finds himself 3 points out. And Tyler Ankrum is in a 13-point hole. And we all know that Canadian Tire can be a wild card race. So no lead is safe at this point. So here are the IndyCar points heading to the last 3 races of the season. We got Newgarden still the leader with a rough finish. Rossi is now 35 points behind. But Simon Pagenaud and Scott Dixon cut their gaps closer. Pagenaud now 40 points out. And Scott Dixon is now 52 points out. And yes, Laguna Seca, the final race of the IndyCar season, is a double points race. So now we got ourselves a 4-way title fight. And IndyCar will be back next week at Gateway, and that's going to be a crucial race for those 4 drivers. But yeah, that's the point situation for trucks and the IndyCar series. That's all I got to say, folks. Hope everyone's a great day, and yeah, peace out.